Good morning, Facebook fam, and good morning to our good friends over there at the YouTubes. This is Team Boy TV Game Time. I'm your boy Big Q,
Your girl Vernie B.
and we are at week 10.
Week 10.
We're at week 10, and
More than halfway over.
it is. This season been going really fast for whatever reason, and I have no idea why it's moving so quickly. And I guess it's moving quickly for me because again, my team was, we started out slow, so it was rough. I just wanted to get them games over with, move on to the next week, and that kind of thing. But things are getting tight, right? I was gonna.
Y'all got a must-win today.
We do got a must-win today. We do, and it's a good situation for the NFC South in general for the Carolina Panthers because the Saints got a tough road to go. The Bucks got a tough road to go. I forget who the Falcons are playing, but we're gonna see here in a minute. But okay, it's really hard to tell you how that game gonna go, but we'll get into that when we get into that. But I think this week is the week that we see the Panthers move up, or at least tie with Tampa. Right, they got a chance to tie with Tampa today.
Okay.
And so we can see some movement in the division because we get closer and closer. And I still got hope that we can win a division. I do. I still got hope that we can win a division, but we'll see. Right, we'll see. We'll see.
Y'all gotta just hope to even be a wild card at this point.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, however you get to the dance, as long as you get to the dance, you know what I'm saying? That's all I care about, and that kind of thing. So, I'm just trying to get to the dance. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get to the dance. And so, I wanted to go ahead and start breaking out the playoff pitches, but I was like, you know what? I can wait 3 more weeks. It'll be fine. It's a little. I don't want to jump the gun. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump the gun. So, well, I guess 3 weeks, right? Because let's see, no, this is week 10, so that's 2 more weeks, right?
2 more weeks.
So 2 more weeks we can bring out the playoff pitches and start talking about that. But for right now, I mean, it's still.
If you stop the playoff picture today, now, Carolina
is out.
They're 3-5.
3-5, just like.
And so even for a wild card, they're like in the 14. They're in the last.
Yeah, they are.
The division.
And and there's still a lot of argument with some of the other divisions. You got some silliness going on in your division in the NFC East, right?
Well, Dallas is a clear cut.
Well, I mean, they 2 games ahead of everybody else, but
the only thing we have is that we beat them when we the first game of the season. So, and that's their only loss they have.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they playing very well. They up against a pretty good team today.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I know, me and Glass, we talked about it on his show, and I don't know. We'll have to see. But so you got that going on, and then of course, out in the West as the AFC, it is super tight out there.
Yeah.
With the
Oakland
taking the lead, and then you got Denver. We got Carolina got KC today, and the Chargers. I mean, like they a game and a half back from everybody else, but they still in the fight, right? So I think that's spectacular. The NFC West. I mean, I don't know. That one has been weird this year. I mean, Seattle doing their thing, right? Seattle doing their thing, and Arizona has been a little bit of a letdown. The Rams started out pretty good, I thought, but they kind of fall off a little bit.
Always.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
they play their division hard, but anybody else.
Yes, which means there might be some trouble for the other 3 teams in the division as we get closer to the end of the season. So it's and of course ain't no competition out in the AFC East. Ain't nothing popping out there. Period. Just the everybody thought the Patriots were gonna have a 4-game skid going in. It was gonna be tough for them to kind of get back in the rankings. But the Jets and the Bills ain't been able to.
There's so much turmoil going on.
Right. They just ain't been able to be consistent.
It's out of control.
I mean, none of the 3 teams are consistent. Miami been playing well lately, but they ain't been consistent enough to they still got a ways to go before they try to catch the Brady's, right? And that kind of thing. We saw some movement in the NFC North though. Everybody was already ready. The first five weeks of the season, they're ready to put the
Super Bowl title
on the Minnesota Vikings, right? You know what I'm saying? And that the offensive coordinator leaves, and they struggle.
Not left.
He didn't get fired, did he?
Yeah, he got fired.
I thought North Turner just left.
Yeah, you don't fire North Turner. He steps down.
Oh, okay. That's the way they wanted to paint the picture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire North Turner.
Okay.
He steps down.
So it's like, he's one of them respected people where, you can't really fire him, right? Okay, I feel you, But, Chicago finally woke up, but I think you still got a long road to go.
Yeah.
But, and I ain't going to get into it this week, but Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like right now.
But out of all the battles that are out there,
yeah,
the one that's like so delicious to me is you and I, because last week I was 10-1.
Yeah.
You were 7-4. You were still not at 500.
Oh, I was so close though. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so close. You know what I mean? Look. You know, me and Glass we talked about this on his show on his podcast the other day. And you know, he's struggling. I'm struggling. We got some surprise people nailing it, like Lauren and Steve. Steve from Talking Packers. Yeah,
he's the one.
I mean,
he's the clear winner.
I mean, like he ahead of everybody by at least 3 games.
A lot of games.
I'm like, come on, bro.
Go ahead.
You know, and I guess I had a little bit of help from my team last year. You know what I'm saying? I had a little bit of help from my team last year. Like, well, my team ain't doing good. That kind of hurt me a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You always pick your team.
Right.
So that's one L if your team ain't doing
right. You know what I'm saying? And I done got 5 of them already. So, that's tough. And then, the up and down with Detroit and Philadelphia and San Diego. These teams been kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit. Tennessee Titans been another one that's been kind of like, hard for me to really pin down. And that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm having a hard time this season. And I guess, you know what? It's a good thing, though. Because if the NFL is super predictable, it ain't fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like,
I agree.
It's I like the fact that it's a little challenging this year, but also I would love to be, like, in the top 10, though. I mean, at least one week, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like 17 in that group.
And then here, I'm just struggling so bad. And then here, when we here and we're doing these picks on Sunday morning, I'm like, yo, I be feeling the picks. Like when I'm sitting there doing a pick, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, this is the home team, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But I'm here though. I be like, yo, this is, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, but we'll see how it shake out. I mean, this is fun to be able to pick the games, but it's been extremely difficult for me this year. It really has. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think if was there any one of those any other news that we needed to get to.
Well, one
a relatively quiet week in the NFL.
What was pretty interesting was about their idea about the marijuana. They're saying now
because it's legalized in so many states.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the owners made a very good point, and they said, well, if you play in one place, if you get pulled over by the police or whatever, it's not a crime.
Right.
But if you get pulled over in a place, let's say Indianapolis, then it is a crime.
Right.
So now you've got this disparity among the league. So, they're saying, and I believe that this owner was in a place where it wasn't legalized, where he probably is thinking, it sounds crazy, but who am I going to lose to free?
Right. Right.
Some people can't keep it under control. As we've seen.
They can't.
They can't keep
but
it under control.
But you know what? I still feel like I understand why marijuana is a controlled substance in the NFL or is a banned substance or an illegal substance. Because we're talking about dealing with. If it's free for all, just to go and smoke weed whenever, right? Just because it's legal in the state. Just because it's legal in the state, you still can't go to work high.
Right.
So you still can't, drive a forklift high. You still can't do that.
You can't drive a school bus.
Right.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming from, especially when you putting yourself out there and you inebriated or whatever the case may be. Stuff can happen.
Right. Well, the thing of it is that 9 times out of 10 when they get caught, they're not at work.
Right. Right.
So that's their issue. So, and they said they were going to look at it for medicinal purposes. So we'll see. Yeah. I don't know what it treats, so people need to be taking it, but okay.
But I'm saying, and you know how it is when you got money, you can get scripts.
Right.
So you can get scripts. You can get yourself some scripts if you got the right kind of money, the right kind of people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I understand the whole thing of like why are we dealing with this when it's legal in 5 states now, right? But at the same time, though, when you go to work, you can't be high. I'm just saying, and if it's open and free and legal, then what's gonna stop people from being in the locker room?
Right, or, it be like it's legal.
Right. It's just weird to me. I don't know. I don't know about that one. The other thing is everybody getting on Aaron Rodgers' case, man. Like with no relaxed speech coming out this year. I think people are ready to. I don't know. So when we talk about aging NFL players, it happens, right? We saw the Pittsburgh Steelers don't look the same no more because over the last couple of years their roster has moved on, right?
Right.
Same thing with a team like Baltimore, a few other teams I can probably think of, but that also worked out in some teams' favor, like Oakland, A lot of old guys left. It's a fresh, new, young squad in there right now. You know, your Giants kind of suffer from that. A lot of the the big time players from that team have moved on. But it's what happens in the NFL. But what we're seeing lately, though, is that it's been a little bit more drastic than in years past. Like in years past, the funneling of the cycle of players wasn't so drastic. Like you didn't have like whole classes leaving at the same time. And I guess that goes to players don't play as long as they used to, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know, man. You don't seem that way to you. Like it's like big chunks of folks are leaving at the same time. Like this year alone, who we had retire? We had it wasn't Calvin J, but it was Anquan Bolden retired in the middle of the season. Not Anquan Bolden. Andre Johnson. And the running back guy, Arian Foster. Right, in the middle of the season, this stuff been going on. And then we lost Calvin Johnson at the end of last season, stuff like that.
I think, honestly, these guys are more concerned about their health than they were years prior to. A lot of those guys would just play and play and play until their legs just wouldn't bend for them to get on the field. Whereas with these guys, you make so much money, that really, even though it doesn't seem like a lot, if you live a responsible life, you got enough for a couple of lifetimes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, Calvin Johnson was a prime example. When he was ready to go, he was good to go.
Am I really going to risk my health and future mental capacity for this game? Especially when you're on a team like Calvin Johnson that's not going to the Super Bowl, that you don't have an opportunity to really win like that. How much abuse am I going to give my body just to be in the league?
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, I actually applaud the mass exodus if it's about health.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the passion to play, get out.
Right. I think so too. You only got so many of your Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings of the world, and Brett Favre was like this. He had some other players that was hanging on to, like I think Ray Lewis played, a long time.
Quarterback position is a little bit different because the most Tom Brady and Peyton got was tugged at.
Right.
We're not talking about receivers who going up getting popped in open field.
Absolutely.
We've got so much protection around the quarterback that you can play until you're 40 because no one's going to touch you.
Right. And some of the DBs they tend to play for a long time too. We still see Romo Harper still doing it down in New Orleans. He's still in the game. We finally got rid of Woodson out of Oakland. He finally hung it up. But yeah, we just don't see it. And one of the big things, and it'll be the last one that we can take care before we run it on home, is that the big conversation has been the NFL suffering in ratings, and everybody trying to figure out why. And I think this is another reason why, because of the drastic change year to year, especially where we at right now, where the players that we know and love ain't there no more. So it's really hard to tune in. It's like, who is this Amari Cooper? I don't know him like that.
See,
you know what I mean?
I don't even think it's that.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that it's the way they've dumbed the game down. That they think everybody wants to see a high flying offense. Right. And that only lasts you. That's a short attention span.
It really is.
When you have a game that's grinding out, those are the best games. When you're not running up and down the field scoring 15 points, 100 points, nobody really wants to see that after a while. It's like, okay.
Here
we
look,
go again.
I'm a fan of defense. And, and every year they whittle away a little bit more of the defensive play in the game. And, and that's one of the reasons that I like football in the first place is to watch people get hit, see quarterbacks get sacked, see fumbles, see interceptions. That's what drew me to the game. Seeing Brett Favre, what's his man's name in New Orleans? Drew Brees and the dude in Atlanta do what they do. And, even like, out in Oakland, it's entertaining for a second. And then you'd be like, wait a minute, whoa.
Honestly, the way they call games now, let's take it back to my 2008 Giants. They would have lost that Super Bowl.
Right, absolutely. Because
you saw that part where Eli gets tackled. They would have been blew the whistle. They're not letting the game just develop organically anymore. They're just trying to control so much because they're so scared of a lawsuit and this and that. They have to show they're protecting players and this and that. It's just too much. It's taken away from the enjoyment of the game. Football is a violent sport.
Very violent. Well, it used to be anyway. And I don't know. It's just that right there is the part that I don't like. Like, and if they say, but for me, I can't really add to the decline of the football because I watch football every week.
Right.
Now I may not watch the primetime games as much as I used to. And I guess that's that whole thing where they talk about the red zone channel, right? it's hard for me to watch a Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games because when I watch football on Sunday, I'm used to seeing the action go and go and go,
Right.
and not being broken up by so many commercials, right?
Right.
And so I would rather watch it on Sunday versus
Mhm.
the primetime stuff. So like
And the primetime stuff now seems boring
right?
because it moves so slow.
Absolutely,
So
yes,
you're like, well, wait a minute. Sunday
yeah,
it's like I see touchdown catch after touchdown catch. Now it's like,
yeah.
okay,
You know what I mean? What up, Glass?
Com-
Good morning, fam.
commercial.
Good morning, fam. Yeah, it's weird. Like because people ask me like, dude, you don't even watch the primetime games. I'm like, it's hard. I can't
Yeah.
really do it. Like because they throw in the flags for everything, so they stop in the game a lot,
Mhm.
and then they show so many commercials, and because me and the fellas was talking about this on Team Boy TV Live, and how the red zone keep coming up in this conversation, and I couldn't understand it because I was like, wait a minute, the NFL owns the red zone channel. Like,
Right.
how could this be something that they doing that's hurting themselves? But this
And
is
the
this,
thing
but
of
this
it
is
out
why.
is that they loaning it out to everybody
Right?
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got the game on Thursday coming on Twitter.
I know. See,
Really?
and then
There's no
they
sacredness
showing
to it
games on
anymore.
Yahoo. They showing
Yeah,
games on
right.
Verizon.
Okay.
And so when they look at ratings, and that's what I was telling Glass and them, they take ratings for about the people who sit in front of a television set. And even if you sit in front of the TV watching Red Zone, you still don't count. You know what I mean? Because you're
Okay.
not watching it on Fox or CBS
Right.
or whatever the case may be. And that's where the ratings come from, right?
Mhm.
They're not checking to see how many people watching Red Zone. They're not checking some people watching the game on Twitter or on Yahoo or
Right.
Verizon or whatever the case may be. So that part, if they're looking at the numbers, they never gonna get the numbers that they want because of the way they done divvy
Right.
the content out.
You can't only slice the pie so many
Right.
times.
Yeah, but I think with a combination of all of that, them homogenizing the way the product is delivered, them breaking the defensive part of the game off, so many players not playing as long as they used to, all of that got to do with it. Like as we move forward, we see players only playing 7 years, 8 years, or whatever the case may be. You kind of be like, that's kind of what turned me off basketball.
Mhm.
Back in the day, players would stick around and then the free agency came in and destroyed it, and I'm sitting there watching the product like I don't know what's going on here. You know what I mean? So I couldn't watch the NBA no more, and that's why I
Right.
don't watch it. And I'm hoping that it don't be like that for our favorite sport.
I don't know. I think that the ratings are definitely suffering, part because of product,
Hmm.
and partly just because people's attention span is so short
It's
nowadays.
so short.
That for you to sit there and watch a game with commercials and whatnot, when you can DVR
Right.
everything,
Yeah.
it's just like I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So I think the NFL's gotta think about maybe the speed of the game
Oh,
or
absolutely.
stop with all these flags. I don't
Mhm.
know, but
Yeah.
I do know that people's attention span is way short.
It is. I'm gonna tell you what's really funny though is that they getting beat now by college football, and I think they present it kind of the same way. I don't really see that much difference in the presentation, but people tend to like the college stuff a little bit more
Well, I
nowadays.
think they like the college stuff more because one is no money attached to it for the players.
Right.
So there's a lot of passion out
Mhm.
there. And one thing is kids that a lot of these people know
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So or they've been following them
Mhm.
and. So I think that's a part of the draw to the
Right.
to the
Because
college.
I just like everybody they super excited. And the energy around college football is just amazing to me.
It really
And
is.
I'm
A lot
like
of energy.
when I look at it, it looks the
And I'm not a
same.
big college football fan,
Yeah.
but like I felt myself intrigued yesterday with the Pitt Clemson game.
Right.
I was sitting there like, oh, is he gonna make that?
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's just more energy around
The
it.
energy is different. It definitely is. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how we fare today. See what we got going on here. Okay. Oh, I see. I was trying to get the comment section to show, but there we go. I got it to work a little bit. I kind of wanted it to look a little better than that, but that's okay. We'll get more comments. It should be good. Okay. Let me look and see what my chances are today first.
Okay, you're 55 and 56. I'm 69 and 42.
Okay, I'm almost. Look, I'm almost. Look, now you having a rough one when you're just trying to make it to 500, right? you know you having
Well,
a
I
rough
mean, you
one.
can't make it all this week. You're 14 games behind me.
Oh, anytime I try to take the lead from you,
Oh.
I'm just trying to make
Get
sure I
to
can break
500.
even.
Okay.
I don't want no losing season,
You
okay?
can do it.
I don't
You
want no
can
losing
do
season.
it.
I don't want no. I can't deal with a losing season,
You
bro.
can do it.
Okay, so let's move this. Can I put this on top? Let's see. Is it gonna mess up anything? Nope. Okay, cool. All right. Let's get it cracking. Here we go. What we got up first? Oh, we got the teams on the bye. Of course, we got to talk about them. We got the Detroit Lions, so that's a game that I'm not gonna get to see them play this week. So I don't know. I ain't gonna get to see the Raiders play this week, right? I don't care about the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts, right?
Yeah.
I don't really care about them, but I'm not gonna be able to see the Raiders or the Lions this week. So these other games got to hold my attention, right?
Okay.
They got to bring it. All right. So let's see what we're working with. Okay. First up, we got the Houston, and this is the AFC South matchup. This division is boring everybody to death. Ain't nothing. Look at the 4 teams in that division. Ain't nothing exciting there.
Right.
Well, maybe Tennessee. Maybe Tennessee.
None of them.
Yeah, well, So you got the Houston's going down to Jacksonville, right? So look, they got to close the pool. I don't know what it feels like down in Jacksonville. What the temperature say? 77 degrees. I don't know if they're gonna be in the pools. I don't know. I think they're trying to close them up. They the home team. Like I said, they can only win when they overseas. And the Texans, like this Texans team is that they don't look the same. I got a feeling that they, them kind of laying back in the cut just within the division to come to them, and they might be in some trouble this week. You know what I'm saying? So, this year, I don't think it's gonna be as easy as it been before.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee probably gonna come in and grab that. But I got the Texans on the road here just because the Jacksonville Jaguars are so bad. Gus Bradley having a hard way to go. And Jacksonville's another team that's super talented, and they just can't get it together. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to pick Houston just because I don't trust the Jaguars. They are terrible.
Yeah.
And you don't never know with them. So, the Texans are not really that much better. But to me, they have a better quarterback. So,
yeah.
And that's not saying much. So I'm going Houston.
You talking about you destroying me? Yeah. Look, man. I understand. I'm saying she got to put the notepad right there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm having. I'll explain. It's been tough now. Okay. The Denver Broncos. See, this is what I meant. Like how I thought that the NFC South was kind of primed this week for Carolina to move up, but Denver coming off a loss against their their arch rivals, the Oakland Raiders. They got to go down into the Superdome and face off against Drew Brees.
Hey, Mel.
Oh, we got people in the. Hey, okay, cool. Yeah, all right, good, nice. I like it. But yeah, I don't know. Denver, they kind of showing some chinks in their armor to me. And I'm gonna tell you where that chink is at. It's at the quarterback position, and it's at the running back position.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Vaughn?
No, the quarterback.
Simeon. Yeah.
He's like this quarterback that's never going to be great.
It's funny you say that because you know who he remind me of, and it's funny that you said it like that. But he remind me kind of like of a young Eli Manning. He really does.
Whatever.
I'm just being real.
Eli.
Think about Eli's first 4 years.
Great. So we can't even compare.
He's great
Eli.
now, but think about when he first came into the league.
Terrible when he first came into the league.
Trevor Simeon reminds me of Eli Manning in his first 2 seasons.
Really?
He really does.
Wow.
He really does.
I don't see it, but I'm partial.
Yeah.
But I got Denver in this game for the simple fact that Saints defense is just horrendous.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
They are just so bad.
They hemorrhaging real bad.
And so I can't just think, that the Saints, they're going to score some points.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw what Oakland did with that.
Yeah.
But I got to go Denver in this just because of that defense.
Well, we said that last week. And and Denver faced off against one of the worst defenses in the league. I think Oakland was rated kind of down there with New Orleans. And okay, I guess you can say
is C.J. Anderson this week?
I don't know. I just need Simeon to be like an Alex Smith. Well, there you go. But I think he leaned a little bit more toward Eli Manning. But anyway,
well, it would be good for them if he was leaning more towards Eli Manning. Eli got 2 Super Bowls
for the future.
Alex Smith nada
for the future. If we're
gonna pick who we want as a quarterback, I'm gonna go Eli.
Well, I'm just saying, but that ain't gonna help you this season. That's what I'm saying. We're trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions here.
Whatever.
We can't do that with Eli Manning want to be in the background.
Got 2 Super Bowl rings.
What you got? Eli Manning want to be back there behind center? Come on, man.
Alex Smith.
Look, I think. Would you say that Drew Brees is a better quarterback than Carr?
Yes.
Okay, so you would say that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Carr beat the Denver Broncos last week.
Mhm.
So how are you gonna give the edge to Denver when Denver lost to a lesser quarterback last week?
Because there's other factors in the game, and the
Mhm.
matchups don't work for me
Mhm.
in terms of like the Saints running game.
Right.
Okay, they got what's this guy?
Mark Ingram, and he
who's
look
been going off
for the
right?
last couple of weeks. He's been
Uh-huh.
good, but before that, he was really bad.
Exactly. He's been going off a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The Raiders did not beat Denver with the run. They beat them throwing the ball and passing the ball.
Well, they ran the ball pretty good, so I'm just saying. I don't know.
But this is the thing. When you get on the ball on the other side, you've got to stop the other team from scoring.
Yeah.
The Saints don't stop the other team from scoring.
Look, I just feel like a hole been punched in the Denver secondary with, to leave, them. I think this is probably his third or fourth game. He's probably going to miss. I don't know when he coming back. They sorely need him. Like, they are struggling without him in the secondary. Like,
they are struggling.
it is rough. And then, of course, they got, running back issues. They got Eli Manning want to be behind center. I don't want to do this because I want to see the Saints get destroyed by the Denver Broncos. But I'm trying to get back in this thing, okay? I'm going with the New Orleans Saints this week, even though I need them to lose. But
you not picking with your heart.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Denver is struggling. They're having some issues right now. But you know what? They went through the same thing last year where they had injuries and all that kind of stuff, and they bounced back and they eventually won the Super Bowl. So did I skip one? I don't know if I did or not. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, yeah. So, but so I'm not worried about them. It's just that I know they know how to bounce back from stuff. This one, how about this one? The Rams go out to the east to go face off against the Jets out there in MetLife. I don't know the Jets. It's always got to be one team. It's got to be one that has a complete, administrative meltdown in the season somewhere, right? It's got to be a team that's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that it's Todd Bowles and his boys, man. Like,
right.
but it's too many weird personalities on that team. They made a lot of mistakes in the offseason, just like they did in Cleveland when they rolled the dice on quarterbacks when they should have just went with the young guys. I know a lot of people don't like putting young guys in the game, but I don't know. I look at your options though, bro.
Well, Fitzpatrick is not playing. Who's the guy that's there?
Like a Hackenberg and
I think
somebody else, the other guy. Look, in this game, I feel like with so much drama going on and no inspiration, the Rams would take advantage of a team like that. And then besides, they got, Aaron McDonald. Todd Gurley been struggling this season. He ain't been able to, get off like he did last year or whatever the case may be. And we still got some rough stuff happening at the quarterback position in L.A. But, their defense has always been solid and stout. And they keep teams below 20,
mm-hmm.
right? And I think that's gonna play in their favor. I like the road team this week going into New York to beat the Jets. I like that.
I'm picking the Jets. They have a lot of turmoil going into that locker room, and they have something to prove. And I think Todd Bowles has something to prove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, prove that he better be trying to hang on to his job.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the kind of thing that gets coaches fired.
Oh yeah,
it really is. Players with these attitudes or
mm-hmm.
unprofessional conduct, you're late to meetings, and they say is a type of climate that had been going on for a long time in that Jet locker room. Mm-hmm. And I think he just said, I'm not tolerating that anymore. And I think that other players are seeing, listen, this guy Wilkerson got paid all that money before the season started. He sat him down. Mm-hmm. Okay, so who's next?
And bench Fitzpatrick a couple weeks ago.
Right. This dude is about winning.
Yeah.
Let's get on the program where we're winning.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going Jets.
I mean, they so busy throwing each other under the bus and putting each other on. And I'm a Brandon Marshall guy, but man, like this dude is. I don't know who he is sometimes. Like. I want to believe that sometimes, the guy that I see is the real Brandon Marshall. But then, then I see like how he sometimes throw his teammates under the bus and nothing never his fault and he never want to take. It's weird. I don't understand that guy.
I'm okay with Brandon Marshall.
I mean, like I said, I'm a fan, but it's weird. This is gonna be a pretty good one. If when the Eagles at home, and you know what, they've been having some issues, okay, and especially at the quarterback position, But I think that's because. We do this every year. We all do this as fans. Like, we see the first couple games, and we're like, we were already ready to crown, such and such and this and that. Who was the hot boys? Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, Sam Bradford. Those were the hot boys coming out of the,
Right.
Well, I guess Trevor Siemian did pretty good the first couple, games too. And then, the Eagles went on a bye, and it's just been, look, they were undefeated going into the bye. Now they barely at 500.
Well, see, this is the problem right here. The reason why they're losing has nothing to do with wins. It doesn't. They're losing because they begin to expect too much of wins.
You think so?
Absolutely. If you watch those first few games, they had him throwing short passes. Mm-hmm. They were doing things to get him comfortable. Now they want him to throw the ball long down the field. Well, what happens? Interceptions. Because he's not ready for that. You've got to baby this guy. He's a rookie quarterback. Mm-hmm. A lot of this stuff is new for him. You cannot sit there and expect him to come out now and be this great quarterback because he had 4 games where he played lights out.
Y'all be tripping me out with this stuff. Okay, so we got a rookie quarterback in there, and we got the playbook dumbed down for him, and now we winning. I'm with Doug Peterson here. Let's expand this a little bit and let's see what we can really do. And then we find out what we really got, and this is what we really got, right? Now, what ends up happening is you keep on keeping the playbook simplified, and then we get these quarterbacks like Blake Bortles and Blaine Gabbert, and these guys who can't throw the ball no more than 7 yards at a time. And then, 3 years later, we're sitting there criticizing these same dudes like, oh, well, Alex Smith is not going to take any shots. Teddy Bridgewater is not going to take any shots downfield, and all this kind of stuff because they've been limiting them from their first couple seasons in the league.
No, that's not it. It's
I think so.
Grooming your quarterback.
Yeah.
You have to groom him. You don't groom him all in one season.
Look, you done won the first couple games.
And how did you win them?
Well, you by dinking and dunking, but playing defense.
And that's how you continue to win.
And playing defense. You
don't now say week 5. Oh, okay. Look, Brett Favre. Let it go.
Look, I ain't saying go
Let
that far.
Let it go.
So I'm just saying, open it up a little bit to see what you're working with.
You gotta crawl
because there's smoke screens in the NFL, and Carson Wentz is a smoke screen.
By no means.
You don't think so?
They are putting too much pressure on this young quarterback. Some people thrive under pressure. Some people break under pressure. So, okay, now you've seen where he's at with the pressure, right? Mm-hmm. Dial it back. Keep it simple.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what I saw, and this, and this is me keeping it real. I saw a guy, and I mean, like I said, I don't know. I was talking to Glass about it on the show last week. I don't know if the Giants defense finally said, "Hey, we're here," or the Eagles and the quarterback was just scared for his life. Look, the dude got sacked 8 times in that game. Listen, 2 interceptions back to back.
The Giants.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I was watching the game, and I'm just telling you what I saw. Okay, this dude was under so much pressure. He was under so much duress. He threw 2 interceptions back to back. So that ain't dumb in the playbook.
Who's calling those plays?
Look, that ain't dumb in the playbook.
Who's calling those plays?
Look, that's bad decision making.
By who?
By the quarterback.
No, by whoever's calling. He's not changing no play in the huddle.
Look.
Who's calling those plays?
Look, the first couple sacks, they said, okay, look, let's pull him back. Let's put him do some more shotgun stuff. And they did more shotgun stuff, and the Giants still got him. You know what I mean?
Listen. Who's calling those plays? The offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You know what you're working with. Why are you calling those plays? He throws an interception. You go right back to him, but you're going to gain his confidence. Get out of here.
Well, you pull him from under center, and you put him in shotgun. You be like, okay, look.
So the quarterback can only do so much, and that goes back to my same point.
Yeah.
It's not his fault that they're losing games.
I ain't saying that. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if you take those 2 interceptions off the board, the Eagles win that game. That's all I'm saying. Right? And now they plan up.
And who's pressuring him to throw?
Wait, nobody pressure him in this game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in this game, he's safe, right?
He still won't win.
Because he ain't got no. Because look, the Falcons ain't got no pass rush. But you know what though? The Eagles will play a little bit of defense though, and as far as
Atlanta flies back to Atlanta with the win.
Oh goodness, I don't want to see that. I believe it though. I think that after the Giants put that beating on the Eagles last week. Look, I'm telling you,
Atlanta's going home with the win.
You know how you used to tease that quarterback, that dude who won the Super Bowl with Seattle, about being scared and his eyes popping out of his helmet and stuff all the time because he was so nuts. That's what Carson Wentz looked like last week. I'm just saying, that's what he looked like.
Dude was scary on the field, that Tavares Jackson. Lord have mercy.
Man, and look, we started the show off and I was like, oh yeah, the NFC stuff, we're gonna see some movement and stuff. But now I done picked the Saints, and now I'm picking the Falcons, man. Only because I just feel like we got to figure.
Right thing to do.
We got to figure out what's happening in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? We got to figure it out. We got to figure this out. And then we ain't got that much time left, but they're still 4-4, which is great. This is a tough one. I think this week a lot of people are saying that Carolina's going into this game as the underdog team. I don't agree. Like I think KC is a pretty decent team. I think KC is one of these teams that Carolina would probably fall to if they hadn't failed to these teams that they shouldn't have failed to earlier, right? Like the Tampa Bays of the world and stuff like that. But I like their chances at home. Jonathan Stewart came back, done been a nice little spark to the team. Getting Cam's confidence back because now he got somebody he can rely on back there with him. I like that. We having some. And again, and I ain't gonna say this is the wide receivers fault in Carolina, okay? Because we've been having some issues with referees and play calling and pass interference. This is league wide, so it ain't just what's happening in Carolina. But Cam has been pretty good. I like this. I mean, Kansas City gonna bring some defense. Not the best defense, but they're gonna bring some. They got Macklin. I don't know what they're doing at running back. I think they still got West back there because Jamal Charles is still out. I don't know. I think the Carolina defense is gonna have a little bit of fun with Alex Smith today.
I am picking Carolina for a lot of reasons. One, they are in a must-win situation.
Yeah, which is every week for them now,
right?
right?
And secondly, they're at home, and I think that they will play a lot better. And I saw some life from them last week. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think Carolina's going to win. Yeah. But one thing that I see is a huge problem for Carolina is that Kelvin Benjamin is back, and Ted Ginn took a nap. And so it's like, this is not the Ted Ginn that we saw last year.
You're right.
Ted Ginn last year was like out of sight. Yep. He looked like a formidable wide receiver. This year it's like he wants to hide behind his big brother.
I don't think that's what it is. I think that, before, I remember 2 years ago, we were talking about, Carolina ain't got no wide receivers and who Cam gonna throw to, this and that. It was a problem, right?
Right.
And that
problem got him 15-1.
Right. Well, what I'm saying, but then last year we lose the number one wide receiver in the offseason, and everybody was still like, Carolina's wide receiver core ain't hitting on nothing, right? Ted Ginn finished the season 12 touchdowns or somewhere around in there. Brown had about 8 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Greg Olsen, I can't even count how many touchdowns he had, but he ain't really considered a wide receiver. But you got all this stuff going on, and now you bring Kelvin Benjamin back. And I said this during the offseason that I was wondering what was going to happen when he came back because he was Cam's favorite target before he got injured. Then Greg Olsen stepped into that thing, but now we're seeing he's going to KB because he know for a fact that KB gonna bring it down. When you throw it out there again, look, Ginn is explosive, right? And he gonna score a lot of touchdowns if you give him the opportunity. But you got to throw the ball to him a lot of times because you're not sure how many he gonna bring down.
Yeah, but you've got to get him involved in the game. Because KB catches the ball, but you're not going to get any yards after the catch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you need that first down, okay, granted, you got it. But you got to get these other people involved because they're what's the missing piece. You don't talk about Greg Olsen this year the way you used to. You're not talking about Ginn anymore. It's looking for KB, looking for KB, looking for KB.
And that was the problem when KB when it was during his rookie year. It was an issue. You know what I mean? So
you can't. You got to spread that ball around.
I mean, but you're the quarterback, though. And here's the thing. Now, you know what you did last year, and it was awesome. For whatever reason, it worked, right? But now you got a guy that you 100% trust in. Now, well, you actually got two people now. You got Olsen and you got KB. And now I'm not saying that Brown and Ginn were bad guys, but, the thing is, you throw the ball to him, and you don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea.
The thing. If I know that, you know that.
Yeah.
Who I'm defending?
Well, they're going to go on KB and Greg Olsen, right?
You got to at least let it be a threat.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I knew that Kelvin Benjamin coming back was going to be it was going to throw the juju off a little bit. But, I'm glad to see that Kelvin Benjamin was playing well, but he ain't getting in the end zone as much as those guys did last year, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely the case. I like Carolina's game, though. I think they can go ahead and bring this one home. And that'll put us at, we'll get close, 4-5. We just need one of these guys to lose. Like these guys, right? Only thing I'm nervous about this, though. I know the Chicago Bears are 2-6. They've been playing well the last couple weeks. They think they won 2 games in a row. After losing the first, few. And Tampa is scary in the sense that I'm watching Jameis Winston, right? And I know when he came into the league, everybody was like, oh, well, Tampa is trying to, emulate what they're doing in Carolina. They matching Carolina in almost every way, right? They matched up with the wide receivers. They matched up, but they tried to. They got a good running back in the little guy who has been, his health has been a question, here and there. But, now they're bringing a big, gigantic quarterback like Jameis Winston. And, at first I wasn't sold on him, but I'm seeing now that he's actually taking the command of this team. You know what I mean? Like, he show up in the huddle They with him. They go to battle for him. You know, Tampa is a scary team. You know.
I got Tampa. I guess because Chicago is like they're suspect.
Yeah, they suspect. They have been playing well for the last couple weeks, though.
Yeah.
You know, but they're on the road. I think they won their first game. I think it was at home. Actually, I think they played 2 home games in a row. I'm not sure, but they won those games there. I like Tampa at home. Again, if all teams in the NFC South win, nothing really changes. You know what I'm saying? But there you go. I like Tampa in this game. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll go with Tampa Bay. All right, that's a safe pick. Now this one right here, me and Glass disagreed on a lot. We disagreed on this game, and I'm gonna let you see. I'm gonna see where you at first, and I'll tell you why we disagreed. So you got the Minnesota Vikings traveling up to the nation's capital to face off against Kirk Cousins and Josh Norman. Right? What you think about this one?
I'm going Redskins.
Oh, so you agree with me? Okay, because Glass thought I was crazy.
I'm going Redskins.
You know? I got to do it too, and this is the reason why. I think the Minnesota offense have been exploited and exposed, right? Their defense is still good. They're still doing dominant growth, but everyone
was talking about that defense, right?
Yeah.
From the first 5 games, we were hearing they're like Denver last year. We was hearing all these great things about their defense.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
It fell off.
What happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this defense, like I said from the beginning, is nowhere near the Denver Broncos defense, and people need to shut that story tale down.
Well, I think your case will be.
Fairy tale.
I think they will accept your case a little easier
Everyone
now.
thought, oh, we got Bradford.
Yeah.
Bradford is good. Bradford couldn't make it in the Rams. He couldn't make it at the Eagles. He's not going to make it here. He has a strong arm.
He was still an upgrade from Teddy Bridgewater in certain sense. I think Teddy Bridgewater was a safer way to go. But I think Bradford gives them legitimacy at the quarterback position.
They give them legitimacy
because
he does have a good arm.
Right.
And his accuracy is good.
Yeah.
I don't know about his decision making all the time. So
I just feel like the offense just can't get it clicking, and I don't know what it is, man. And I know the
running game.
Right, that's the main thing. I was like,
running game.
Adrian Peterson being missing is a big piece of that.
Right, we hear this. Look at them without AP, they're doing great. Yeah, they gotta.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then and then what brought them to the dance ain't really getting it done no more because now they can't. The defense can't get off the field on 3rd down, and when once it's rough, man. And I was just saying I like the what they got cooking over in Washington.
My bold prediction is Josh Norman gets 2 picks today.
Wow. Well, I like Josh Norman and everything. I just don't like when he has a really good game because then the Panther haters come out the woodwork. And they start, why you just can't celebrate and be happy for Josh Norman having a good day? Why you got to bring it back to Carolina? That's the part I don't get. Like, every time Josh Norman have a good day, y'all missing Josh Norman now, ain't you? You all messed up. Come on, man. Like, Josh Norman has done moved on in his life. The Panthers done moved on in their life. Everything cool. We good. Panther people don't hate Josh Norman.
It really doesn't matter what team he's on. They're 4-3. The Panthers are 3-5. He's not going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Just relax.
Just chill out with that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was telling Glass that I liked watching that game. He disagreed. He thought he's still on that Kool-Aid. He is still on that Kool-Aid like
Glass with that cup down, man.
Yeah, man, like the Vikings are still the Vikings from week 3. I'm just saying. I don't think so. And I think we disagreed on this one, too. Everybody like Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Well, he used to be.
Oh, I got the Titans.
I like the Titans in this game, too. You know what I'm saying? I think the Titans bring a little bit more to the table, a little bit more consistency, a little defense.
I mean, the Green Bay hasn't really shown me anything this year.
Yeah.
They've been in the games they won. They barely won.
They barely won. Yeah.
Titans all the way to the
And I mean, this year's been great for Marcus Mariota in his second year because now they got 2 really good running backs back there. He ain't really got to think too much, and he got this gigantic tight end. Right. He got some nice wide receivers. He in a nice position right now.
Nice position to just keep growing and developing.
And he can just chill out. And I mean, and then he's a situation where I'm with you. Yeah, you don't have to have him. Throw the ball all deep and stuff.
Yeah.
But eventually though,
you gotta get there.
He's gonna have to get there. But I think
with this, I know your quarterback can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stack that box and I'm gonna dare him to throw it.
Absolutely. And I think he in a situation where he can afford to do that. Philadelphia, I just think it's a little bit. I think Wentz gonna have to speed his progression up a little bit because he don't got that luxury of a nice offensive line and 2 great running backs and stuff like that. That's just my opinion. But I like Tennessee in this game as well. You know what I mean? Like I think it's time for Tennessee to beat a credible opponent,
right?
So people can get off their back a little bit, right? And I don't know how credible the Green Bay Packers are this year, but they essentially are a credible team. The Miami Dolphins surprised me last week. They played very well. They have a dynamic running back in Jay Ajayi. I like him. So Ryan Tannehill doing some really nice things with his accuracy and with the touch that he's putting on the football. I was impressed. I'm not a Ryan Tannehill fan, but I saw what he was doing last week and I thought it was impressive. Right. On the other hand,
And he was working with Manning.
yeah, he was right. I mean, seeing him, do the little float. I mean, it was great. But you know what? I've been on the San Diego Chargers. I've been on them since I know they're struggling. They're a game and a half out from KC, right? And them and KC time. I'm not sure. Not saying they game back, but
Because KC is 6-2.
yeah. So I like the Chargers. I mean, one of the things that kind of draw my eye to the Chargers is the fight that Phillip Rivers brings, and he inspires that team to stay with him. Melvin Gordon's been spectacular. Gates is like the old guy still got it, and Phillip Rivers is chucking that thing all over the yard. They playing at home, and as impressive as I was with the Dolphins last week, I think they walk into this one and the Chargers gonna pick them apart.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, Phillip Rivers at home is a whole different other animal,
yeah, absolutely.
and like you said, he plays with a lot of passion. His team buys into his passion.
Oh yeah.
And they fight to the end.
They
so
do.
I'm gonna go Chargers with this.
Wow.
But it's gonna be a close game, only for the simple fact that running game that
Miami.
Yeah. It's looking real nice.
It's serious business now.
That running game.
And we already know that the Chargers defense against the run is a little
Right.
suspect. What I'm saying?
So it's gonna be a tough game, but I got the Chargers.
All right, so we're agreeing on a lot of games this week. We're probably gonna agree on this one too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mark it down as Cardinals.
Yeah, look at every week the San Francisco 49ers stats keep going down. They're not making any progress on this team whatsoever. Now, I know they had a quarterback change, and Colin Kaepernick's first 2 games, I thought he played well. All they've been able to do is run the ball, and they run the ball with Colin Kaepernick, and they run the ball with Hyde, but they can't do nothing else.
So this is the problem with San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is Chip Kelly.
Oh, I don't.
Chip Kelly has to realize that this college type of system that you got is not going to work in the NFL, and he is so haughty that he will not change it.
Right. We've seen this.
He's going to force people
to
this system to work. When your defense is on the field the majority of the game, they cannot stop anybody after a while.
No.
They are tired. And
I don't understand.
Offense is not set up to play the type of system you want to play.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, the quarterback is there, but you ain't got any other pieces.
I mean, what you're going to need is in order to run this offense the way he want to run it, where the offense can just impose their will and run, twice as many plays as any other team. Number one, you're going to have a very good offensive line, which San Francisco 49ers do not have. And then you're going to need to have everybody on the team, on the offensive squad, to have like super cardio in order to be able to kind of keep up with the speed.
You need a good running back as well.
You need a good running back, yes.
That pass action works.
Right.
This is a waste of
So he said that he couldn't run this offense with Frank Gore, which he's absolutely just doing amazing in Indy, right? But I understand, Frank Gore wasn't gonna be able to take all those snaps. He wasn't gonna be able to do that, right?
But who they got?
They got Carlos Hyde, and he's struggling. But then they got to run the quarterback as well. So they're running the quarterback and all this kind of stuff. And he expecting Colin Kaepernick to throw the ball deep on all these consecutive plays where wide receivers are running all the way down the field, and then they got to run all the way back because the play didn't work.
I feel bad for Colin Kaepernick because he's not going to play again in the NFL.
You don't think he'll play again in the NFL?
This is it for him.
You don't think? I know I didn't think he would play again as a 49er, but I thought he still had a shot in the NFL. I mean, Cleveland is still there. I'm just saying, Cleveland ain't going nowhere now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Point taken.
I mean, and I know, look, he brought a lot of stuff on himself with that. But you know what? That stuff dying down now. We in a Donald Trump era. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, ain't nobody really looking at that no more. I think they looking at Colin Kaepernick as, for what they should be looking at. Like, they weren't looking at him like that in the beginning of the season. But I think they now are looking at him as a quarterback. Now, Denver wanted him. So, I mean, he still got value. You know what I'm saying? So, he still got value. But they're going into the toaster with their continually digressing.
The Cardinals ain't looking that good either, to be honest.
They're not, but they play against a team that is not getting better week by week. Now we've seen some teams that were struggling. Cleveland, we're just talking about them. We see Cleveland in the battle with everybody they go and they face off against. JB made a sarcastic point, but it was a point nonetheless. That he was comparing Cleveland to Carolina. He was like, well, I didn't see Cleveland giving up 1,500 yards in 3 weeks to teams, and losing 3 divisional games in a row. And I couldn't argue with that. It's true.
They don't have any wins.
They haven't won any games, but the point he was making is that they didn't give up as much as Carolina did in the beginning.
What does that mean, JB? If they're still losing?
That's what I mean. I don't know, but
What's the point, though?
what the point is, he's saying that maybe they a better team than Carolina was because they don't let people score 500 yards,
And
passing.
snails and puppy dog tails.
Right,
Like,
that's what he's
okay.
saying. I was just saying. But Cleveland will battle, right? And
I mean, listen,
they battle. They
Cleveland
battle.
doesn't have enough to go over the top.
Yeah.
But you can't compare a no-win team to a team that has wins.
Right. I mean, that's that's
You
what
just
it
can't.
is.
They have no wins.
Right. They ain't been able to get it done. But I don't know. Look. At the same time, this team is the 49ers coming in there, and I think after this game, you're gonna see the stats continue to go down. They're at the bottom at pretty much every stat except for rushing, right? And that just shows that they're not gonna be able to win, and not against a team like the Cardinals
it's
anyway.
Coaching. It's bad coaching.
Oh, definitely bad coaching. That's why I'm like, we was talking about how did Chip Kelly get another job in the first place? Because I mean, honestly, I think was he 3 years in Philadelphia, or was it 4?
I thought it was 2 in Philly.
I think he had a third one in there.
Okay.
Yeah, but we know now for sure that his style of offense
and
just don't work in the NFL.
Is you let Andy Reid go to get this dude, who, and then you let that dude
go to bring in some other kooky brain dude. I don't know. This one here has a lot of people. People think that the Dallas Cowboys luck gonna run out here. I doubt it, right? Because the Steelers just ain't the Steelers, right? I mean, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger is 100%.
He's not. But someone said they'll take his 80% over Landry's, whatever it is.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I would too, right? I mean, because Big Ben is more of a cerebral guy. He ain't gonna really make that many mistakes. I just, the Steelers the mystique of the Steelers is just not there anymore, right? I think, a team like, eventually the Cowboys are going to lose, right? Eventually they're going to lose. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't believe that. I think they one of the best records in the NFL. I think them and the Patriots got the best record, right? But I just don't think they're the best team, right? Kind of like, people.
So who would you say is the best team?
I would say that the Patriots were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think people were saying NFC. Or you saying they're saying in the NFL?
Well, in the NFC, it's tough. I think. Look. I know people say your record is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And that proves a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's kind of the same thing where I was on the other side of it last year, where my team racking up a whole lot of wins. People saying, I don't know if they're the best team. I don't know. I know they haven't lost the game yet, but.
And what happened? The team was the best team in the NFC. They proved it. They got to the Super Bowl.
They did.
And so if you're 7-1 and everybody else is 3-2 and 5, you're the best team.
It's hard for me to swallow that one though, because I look at them and they don't do things like the Giants do. They don't do stuff like I guess the Giants D. It was 1 week they showed up, but it was good. But I don't see the Cowboys stepping out and showing up in a particular stat. It just seemed like a super average, but a little bit of a slightly above average team that just doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
And there you go.
Yeah,
doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Doesn't turn.
Okay, I guess what I'm looking for is they don't seem super dominant to me. Maybe they're the best team in their own way, but they don't seem dominant.
They're not dominant.
Right. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. Okay. Right, and I know eventually they're gonna lose. But I just think
I don't think it's here today.
No, I don't think so either. I think they'll exploit this Pittsburgh Steelers team because it's time for either Mike Tomlin to change or evolve a little bit.
Turnover here. I mean, you don't have this. This is not the Steelers defense that we're accustomed to.
Absolutely not.
I mean, the tackling that I've seen them doing is terrible.
Horrendous.
It's like, what is this?
Yeah, absolutely. But they survive on the merit that they got these outstanding wide receivers, right? And and a pretty decent back, Le'Veon Bell, and his backup is pretty good too. They've been
throwing the ball to Le'Veon Bell for some reason more than they've been letting him run from the shotgun formation.
I don't know.
So, he's got more receptions than Dez Bryant.
That's crazy, right? That's wild. But I think again, the Cowboys are so well balanced that they, like I said, they don't have the greatest defense, they don't have the greatest offense, but their defense will show up. I don't know. They might be a little bit outmatched in the wide receiver game. It depends on which big men show up.
Pittsburgh doesn't have any pass rush.
Right, they don't.
So if you let Dak sit back there, he's gonna find someone to throw it to.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just worried about. The only thing I'm worried about is that does the Dallas Cowboys secondary have enough for Coates and Brown and those guys? And if they can put enough pressure on Ben, not to let them get down the field like that.
I'm telling you, I think Dallas comes into the little place and steals one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I picked it out. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys in this game too. But yeah, we'll see when they luck gonna run out. But they still rolling. I think this is the last one.
Okay.
All right, this is the last one, and this is the rematch from the Super Bowl a couple years ago. But this time there is no more Sean Lynch, so they ain't even know. Like, so Pete Carroll ain't even got to question it, right? He ain't even got to think too hard about it, like because I know that was controversy at the end of the Super Bowl that year.
Which was the stupidest play ever.
Right,
Okay.
but things happen, right?
It was the stupidest play.
It was. But here's the thing, though. I think this Patriots team is better than that Super Bowl Patriots team.
I think so too.
And I think this Seahawks team is worse than the Seahawks team than from the Super Bowl.
I agree.
So I can't, when they playing in New England,
and I think like Brady is like 18-2 at home. Like,
yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy.
New England.
Yeah, New England. That's gonna do that, right? I don't think it's gonna be that much of a shootout. I really don't.
I don't either.
I think
especially with Wilson being hurt.
Right. I think it's cool that the Bennett brothers get together though. That's
Yeah,
cool. Right? Which is
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And actually,
Cool.
and this is a brother situation where they actually get to play against each other. They actually get to put hands on each other. Like the Barber boys from back in the day. Yeah, so it's pretty good. All right, so that's our show for this week. And let's see if we can close it out. Yeah, there you go. I don't know, not a whole lot of marquee matchups on the card this week. I say, when you're missing the big acts like, Oakland, it makes the week seem a little weird. But we got some nice divisional matchups, so we got some good stuff. We'll see how it plays out. My game is at 1 o'clock this week, so I'm going to watch the game, and I don't know if I'm going to be on Twitter after that. I might take a nap. I don't know. But but for the people who are going to be tuning in the early games, I'll be on there at TeamBoydTV. There you go.
And I'm at Vernie B73. Hey, and I want to shout out Glass. Thank you for tuning in. But I'm trying to get us to get a day we can get up and talk about this CBA and the whole policy of the NFL. We got to get a day scheduled.
Yeah. We
need to get that working.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice little roundtable discussion about that. Maybe bring JB in on it too, but
we need a TeamBoydTV roundtable discussion on the CBA and the whole policy thing.
Yeah, because I think we all kind of sit in different places with it. Because I actually think this one is better than the one we just came off of, but but it's got some holes in it, of course. But that's one thing we definitely need to discuss that. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready for the games. I don't know what I'm gonna eat here, but I'm gonna get me something to eat. But we'll get ready to watch the games. I don't know why I said that on air, but we'll catch y'all next week, mate. Y'all take it easy, peace.